Hi. So one of the reasons why I chose the Airstream was because of the feel that I got when I stepped into it. It was actually during the time where we were in COVID.
COVID, yeah.
Yeah. And then we went up to Jersey to look at the Airstreams, and I stepped into the Airstream. And because I had already done the research on it and everything, I knew right then and there that the Airstream was the choice for me. When I stepped into it, I looked around at the build of it and all the aesthetics and everything. And I had a real good feeling about my decision that I was making to purchase the Airstream.
As I remember it, this is how I remember it. You went to the Airstream. You want to show them start from an other brand and then come up to what quality is. But we went to look at the Airstream first, and as I remember it, it was like after you saw that one and you saw what the traveling trailer did offer, and then we started looking at other brands. It was like it was already cooked. It was already decided. It was already decided. It's every other brand that we looked at. It was like no. Even the ones that had more space, the fifth wheel that had more space with the slide outs, you didn't want to stay in it. I remember when we went to down in Virginia, we went to a dealership, a large dealership, and we were there for a while, and we had a salesman take us around to different places. And what was your impression with those? You just kept saying
I
no.
just kept saying no. I wasn't satisfied.
No.
And then I think across the lot they had the Airstreams.
Yeah.
And then we walked across the lot.
Yeah. And you would just
the
say
Airstreams, and we just stayed over there in that area.
Yeah. So
Because again, I knew exactly what I wanted, which was an Airstream. So it was kind of like a waste of time just to be looking in another area that didn't have what I wanted.
I got stuck. So I had to go with the Airstream versus some other brand. Yeah, for me, the big thing the reason why I went with the Airstream is when I start looking at the depreciation of the Airstream. If you look at the Airstream depreciation as compared to other brands of trailers or RVs, it's not as steep. After 5 years, what I've been able to find out is if the Airstream is well maintained and it's kept in a covered area, you're still going to get upwards of 70% or more of the value of your trailer. It maintains that. The Airstream does that. And even after 10 years, which is kind of amazing to me, is if your Airstream, again, is maintained well. And most Airstream owners, they do take care of the Airstream, and we take care of ours too. So even after 10 years, you get 50% of your value is maintained or more of what you paid for. So that's pretty good. And if you look at most trailers out there, they are after 5 years, it's 40% of the value as compared to the Airstream, which is upwards of 70% or more. And then after 10 years, most trailers are done. After 10 years, the lifespan is 10 years. You go past 10 years, very few of the other trailer brands that we were looking at, they look nice, they offer so much, but the depreciation is something to take into consideration.
So even if we decide that we want to just give this up in 5 years, or if we decide we want to upgrade, it wouldn't be very difficult or hard for us to either trade it in or sell it for another Airstream, because that it keeps its value and it holds its value. So,
and the other thing too is when we were looking for a Airstream, I was looking at older models to save some money. And the thing that I got is every time I would find one that was something that I wanted, it would disappear. It's gone. By the time you're reading about it, so it's already sold. And to have that happen, to understand that's pretty good. Right.
The reason why I chose the 27-foot front bed Globetrotter was because of the space. It wasn't too big. It wasn't too small. We looked at other models and other sizes, but it was how it was set up. Like for some, the bathroom were like in the back of the trailer. And I didn't like that. And I think some was like all together, like you have the toilet and the...
Yeah, just like this one. Just like this one.
Right, but the shower is separate.
Yeah, I remember when you looked at the 23-foot, the 25-foot, and 27-foot, this is after we had already decided that the Airstream was what we're going to go with. We looked at all 3 models, and then it was, no, this is too small. And then it's like 25 foot. Oh no, this is too small. And all the time that we keep going up, my pocket be just saying this is going to cost. This is going to cost. And then when we got to the 27 foot, it was pretty nice. But
Right.
yeah.
And then choosing the color combination, I chose the darker color wood and the lighter color furniture and countertops and everything because it just looks really nice and clean to me. But then again, we went on our trip down to Georgia. So when we were down there, we were on a campsite that had red dirt. And it's like, oh my goodness. So you can't stop kids from being kids and having fun. This lighter color, I'm going to either have to find a really great cleaning solution or get something to cover it, so
You gotta get something covered because those kids and that red dirt
Yeah.
was something else.
Right. So that's the only thing, which I still like the color combo, but it's just not kid friendly,
Yeah, this color is different.
Yeah.
But it looks nice. It looks
Yeah,
nice.
it's
but-
still nice.
but
I keep it clean and everything. So it's
Yeah.
pretty nice.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
the other thing is too, when you look at the 23, 25, and 27, when you looked at the 28-foot Classic, and it's like you were so stuck on how the 28-foot Classic looks, but it's like, no. You start looking at the price line. No.
Yeah. And also there was this situation where 28 feet are kind of hard to get into certain parks.
It was 30 foot. 30
Oh,
foot.
30 foot. Okay.
Some national parks, we were looking at what can actually fit in the parks, and I wanted to stay below 30 feet because there are some parks, some national parks, as I found out, that if you go beyond a certain footage, you're not allowed in the park. So we wanted to stay below the 30 foot. So we decided on getting this 27-foot front bed twin Globetrotter. It's not a bad choice. And again, if we take care of it, we'll be able to maintain some of its value if we decide to get rid of it. But again, you are almost sold on that Classic 28-foot Classic. Now, driving is another benefit that I was looking at. It's the aerodynamics of the trailer is something that was key to me. And I haven't driven with a trailer in such a long time since I was my younger days, and I just wanted to make sure that it's something that I can handle. And yes, it's been okay, but I'm still learning how to back this bad boy up a spot. And that's something that takes some attention, but I'm getting better at it.
Yeah. And I have to step outside of the truck and navigate sometimes to help him get into the spots. But at some point, I'm not helping him drive. At some point in the future, I plan to start helping him. I'm trying to get used to the bigger truck. He has a Ford F250. And for me, that is huge. So I got to I'm learning how to drive the truck, put my pillows in there, get on top, and then I'm just driving around parking lots. Eventually, I will also start participating in the long haul as far as driving the truck and trailer across country. I don't think he's too comfortable with that now.
I'm not comfortable with it at all.
But we're getting there.
Yeah, but driving a truck with the trailer, driving a truck. The F250 is a bigger vehicle. It's bigger than and with you being as small as you are, almost 5 foot. How tall are you again?
What? I'm 5'2".
5'2". But it's short. But the truck comes up to your forehead, so it's like driving the truck. But driving the trailer and the truck, that's going to take some time. It's going to take some time to get in. But it goes down.
But it's no rush. It's no rush at all because I enjoy sitting on the passenger side.
That's good. It's no rush. That is really well. I'm so happy about that. But driving a truck and just making sure that it's safe going down the road. One of the things that I do is I drive 65 and arrive alive. That you're driving 65 and let everybody that is really aggressive driving pass on. I'm going 65. I'm going to get to my spot. You can speed as long as you want to. And the hitch that we have is the AirSafe hitch. And I don't have a stabilization hitch yet, but I'm going to look to purchase one of those in the near future. But we haven't had any real issues. And the aerodynamics of the trailer, it works pretty well going down the road. Another thing that was of interest to me when I was looking at purchasing the trailer is what the trailer is made of. The Airstream is made out of aluminum, and the shell itself is sturdy. And if you look at other brands, the Asdale, the fiberglass and the wood and the delamination and all the issues that are discussed of those, that breakdown of the material on the outside over time, it's just something that kind of concerned me. So we took that into consideration. And then the other thing is slides, having slides slide out. You remember having a conversation with the couple at the park when they were talking about the slides, and they went with another brand that did not have slides. It was a Class A model, and I'll put what that model was up here somewhere of what they had, and they went away from slides too because they were having problems with the slides. And the good thing about the Airstream is it does not have slides. You don't have to worry about the breakdown of that, and that's anything that's like that has a lot of mechanics. And the other thing too is I have some of my prior coworkers, they send me all of these outstanding travel trailers that are being developed, that are modern and have all the bells and whistles technology. And then every time I look at something like that, the only thing that I think about is, oh, that's another thing to break down. That's another thing that's going to break down on that trailer. What happens if this happens on that trailer? One of the things that you do become more familiar with is as you become a mechanic, you have to become some sort of mechanic when you have a trailer. And what I like about the Airstream is the support network. Not only do they have all the forums that are out there, the Facebook forums, the Airstream forum, and the help desk at the Airstream, any issue that you have, someone out there in the community, the Airstream community, may have had that issue, and they are not shy in their information. It's like I had an issue and I put a question out there, and before you know it, I had the answer come back, and all the things were taken care of. So.
And even, if you post pictures or something about your RV and they see something that may not be quite right, like with our front end of our trailer being higher than the back end of the trailer, they pointed that out and told us that we need to look.
Yeah, I had my hitch configured incorrectly. I had it configured too low in the front. I mean, in the front of the trailer as we tow it. And someone noticed that and let me know, and it was correct. And I actually fixed that, and it towed a lot better. So,
yeah. So we really do appreciate that, especially if you're just getting started. You don't know the ins and outs of traveling with the trailer and everything, and people put information out there for you to help you. So it's kind of like a community where you help each other,
Yeah. The Airstream community is great with assisting with the trailer. And there's so many different things that have been modifications that you can make to this trailer that are out there, and it's common. So that's another reason why we chose this as our choice of trailer.
Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.
This has been Mitch and Pat with Reaching Freedom, and we'll see you next time. Out.